Hello friends, we're Lucy McConnell and Erica Penrod. We're authors and your hosts here at Angels Unscripted. This season, we're shifting gears and starting a new journey. We don't have it all figured out. We're writing and talking as we go. And we're inviting you into the stories behind the stories. We hope you'll come with us. This is season 3. Welcome to the ride. Hello and welcome back to Angels Unscripted. I'm your host, Lucy McConnell, with my friend and co-author and co-host, Erica Penrod. We're here today. We're talking about mailboxes, which may not sound all that exciting when you think about your mailbox, but we are about to turn mailboxes on their head for you. So, first off, what is a mailbox? Let's jump in and get going.
Okay, well, let's kind of recap where we're at.
Okay.
With this season. So we talked about...
what do you want?
What do you want?
What do you want?
Biggest question.
And that is one of the hardest things to answer ever.
Yes.
So if you're 3 weeks in and you're still struggling to figure out what you want, I would say spend quiet moments or journal and write lists and lists and lists and then decide what you want most. So
So for sure, what do you want? And also remember to think about what you want without limitations.
Right.
This is in your ideal dream world, what do you want?
Yeah.
Because that's how you really connect with your true desire.
We did one whole episode on their ABC goals and expectations and what you want and no expectations, no limits. I actually had undergone a full entire year revolution several years ago. And I know you remember it because I kept being like, no limits, no expectations, no limits, no expectations, all the time. It was this revolution inside of me that the limits and expectations that I had been keeping on myself and more importantly on God, that it just flew off. And it was this incredible freedom to allow God to fully work without limits and without expectations.
Ooh, I love the idea of taking that and going a step further with your desire, but with expectation that it's going to happen.
Right.
With the faith. You have expectation that this is going to happen.
Which is faith.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. And trust. Faith and trust together.
Okay. So we did the ABC goals last week. So we talked about what do you want, and then we applied that to the goals, A, B, and C. Your C goal is something so out there you don't have a clue how you're going to get it.
Right?
Okay, and then
it will come.
And then we talked about, we hinted at mailboxes last week.
Yep.
So we've put this big desire, expectation out into the universe, out to God. How do we get it now?
How do we get it?
How do we get it?
Okay. So
that's the big question.
You know what? One of the biggest things is being willing to receive it. And I know, as so many of you were putting your C goals, as you were writing it down, you were automatically blocking it. Because you're looking at it and you're thinking, there's no way that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't have any means to make this happen. I will never see this because so-and-so.
Money.
Or this person in my life continually stops me from this or yada, 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 yada. I know you were putting those things up there 100% and you were doubting even as you were writing it down. And I know that because I did it too.
And I'm still working on it. We're constantly talking about how do we grow our mailbox. And I guess let's kind of talk about the mailbox.
So basically what it comes to is growing the mailbox is a metaphor for receiving or being ready to receive that goal, that blessing, that thing that you're asking for. So becoming receptive is also a little bit of a process. And like we said, we're still working on it. We're still going through this receptive, being receivers. But we have this really great analogy that came through this book.
Yeah. So that's been a big question for me is how do I receive? I know what I want. I've put it out there, and what am I doing to block it? I really believe this. And so this book that you stumbled upon in the library one day.
I love
and then you read it and you're like, you've got to read this.
I read it and then I bought it from the library.
Yes.
Like, I was like, this is not leaving my house.
Yeah.
So how much do I owe you?
Yeah.
And they were happy to help me out. They were wonderful people at the library.
Yeah. Anyway, it's The Creation Frequency by Mike Murphy. But the part about the mailboxes is in the foreword, which the whole book is phenomenal. And we'll probably quote some more from that.
Several times throughout this episode.
The foreword by Jack Canfield, which I'm sure many of you have heard his name because he's all over.
I know. Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Soup, yeah.
Like, he's the Chicken Soup for the Soul guy. And crazy coincidence, I actually have been published in 6 different Chicken Soup for the Soul books.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Some of them are under pen names. Some of them are under my name, Christina Dimmick. But that was one of the
or
steps.
Lucy McConnell, as you are on here.
I actually, yeah, right? Well, like I said, pen names.
Yeah.
But that was one of my steps to becoming an author, was writing short stories for Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Okay.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Like, so here we are with Jack Canfield.
Okay, so he does the foreword for this book for Mike Murphy. And in it, he is talking about how receiving is the final step, which he says might sound like the passive part, the moment where you sit back and you watch it all show up.
It's not.
And so I love this quote. I mean, if you can see it, I've got it highlighted. I've got
She's like this and arrows and exclamation
points.
point.
So this just spoke to me. So receiving takes a lot of work. Imagine that you ordered a package and UPS shows up to deliver it, but your mailbox is too small to let it in. You need to expand the size of the mailbox, and the size of the mailbox is a metaphor for the frequency of vibrations you are putting out into the universe.
Yeah.
That was monumental for me.
Okay, explain.
Because for me, I could visualize it. I could see my mailbox being small, and I could see me praying and asking and putting these things out into the universe, praying to God. And then he's like, I would give it to you if I could shove it in there, but it's not big enough.
Yeah.
Which I also relate that to this journey of awareness, of like being on a frequency. You know, nature works that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't give, like, everything is in order. Everything has to be able to receive. And so it just, for my mind, that made so much sense. Like, I'm asking for it, but I need to be on the right vibration. I need to have my mailbox the right size to receive this.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. All I remember that quote is from Spider-Man. I don't know why.
I think that's where it originated.
Is that where it came from? I have no idea.
Yes.
I just remember that from the Spider-Man.
Way to go, Spider-Man.
Yeah. But do you see what I mean? Like, it's like there's that if I'm going to give you this, you need to be able to handle this.
Yeah.
Which we see in nature, in law, in the universe, in God,
time.
Religion, you know, whatever you believe. And for me, it's God. And I see the perfect order. And I see now how many times he was probably really frustrated with me.
Yeah.
Like, you keep asking me and I cannot do this until
you have to change.
Yeah.
Yes. I know. A lot of times I'll get the answer, you don't know what you don't know. And then we go on a journey. And I love that answer because the journey is always beautiful.
Yeah.
But that's the same. It's the same. I'm not in that frequency because I don't know what I don't know. I don't have the knowledge that I need yet.
Right.
I need to get in a place where I'm higher than I was before. And so I've got to move. And I'm the one that's got to move because that knowledge is already there. I just need to move up into the place where that knowledge is. So that happens a lot for me.
It does me too. And I think, like, we haven't talked about vibrations and frequencies on
really?
this, but you know, and so if you're interested in this kind of stuff, really study vibrations and frequencies, which is like the law of attraction.
Yeah.
And so that goes along with your mailbox. What frequency, what vibration are you putting out there? And so how do we do that?
How do we increase our mailbox?
Yeah, how do we put good vibrations out there? How do we live on that higher frequency to receive?
Yeah. Okay, so a couple things that I went through. One of them would be to release grudges.
Okay.
You can, so if you picture your mailbox and it's chock full of grudges, there's no room to put anything else in. You got to release grudges. Like forgiveness and releasing grudges hugely opens your mailbox to receive more and gives room in your life And like we talk about changing your frequency, when you're holding on to the past and you're holding on to those memories that make you feel uncomfortable, unkind, judgy, all of those things, you're not in the place to receive goodness. And so it's just that switch. And so that's kind of a basic understanding of frequency. When we talk frequency, we're not like, I don't know how to explain it. We're talking where your spirit is. Like, how bright you are, kind of a thing, and increasing your brightness.
Everything is created.
Everything's on frequency.
Is on a frequency.
Like this pen's on a frequency, the microphone's everything's on a frequency. All the little atoms inside of them are vibrating, and this one vibrates at a certain frequency, speed because to make it what it is. I vibrate on a frequency to make me what I am. And so you'll see people, I am sure you have seen people who are bright and beautiful, and it's just that their thoughts and their actions and everything is just pure. You look at a child in a child's eyes and they are bright and lovely and beautiful, and there's no darkness in there. And it's because the child is just happy, like at this frequency.
They're operating at a different frequency.
Yeah, they're not holding grudges against people. They're not thinking, judging, all those things. Children are beautiful that way. So another thing that can enlarge your mailbox is to think big. Okay. Which we kind of talked about last week. Yes. So if you want to review ABC goals, think big. Another one is releasing guilt. Or not accepting guilt. So like when we started writing our ABC goals, did you feel like, oh my gosh, I feel kind of guilty asking for this?
Yes, that was a huge stumbling block, I guess you would call it. Like for me, you know, I've always been interested in this kind of stuff. Like when The Secret came out years ago, I just like...
Well, our book club read it.
I loved it. I just was so... something about it just spoke to me like, this is right, you know?
There's something in here.
And while I loved it, it didn't stick with me as much as I would have liked it to. Like I tried to work on things, but because I needed a little bit more foundation. And now as I've learned, the law of attraction is a secondary law. So you have to go back and learn these first laws. And I love that how you do this is through constant repetition. Like over and over, I'm studying this, I'm learning this. And I think that's how I'm growing my mailbox, is because now I have learned and become more aware when I go to those places, like when I start remembering the past and it brings up some feelings that I don't love. Yeah. And I don't stay there as long.
Yeah. Well, that's what we've talked about before, about raising your baseline.
Right.
And
your internal thermometer.
That's part of your evolution as a human, right? Yeah. If you're trying to be a better person than you were yesterday, you want to get your baseline up. So my baseline may have been that I dropped into this, let's say I had an argument with my husband. I dropped into this mental spiral where I continue arguing with him in my head. And it's just this tornado of chaos in my brain and in my body and in my spirit and everywhere which way. And that was my baseline. Like if we had a fight, that's where I went. So I'm going to try and raise that baseline, and in doing so, my first thing might be to recognize where I'm going. Like I may be in it 5 minutes before I'm like, oh no, I'm doing that thing that I don't want to do.
But you don't stay there as long.
But I don't stay there. So I take myself out at the 5-minute mark. And then that's my new baseline, is 5 minutes in the spiral instead of half a day, whatever, until I can feel better.
You only did half a day?
No. Well, it depends on all sorts of things. How busy I get and forget about the spiral. So then maybe my baseline's 5 minutes. Yeah. But then maybe my next raising my baseline is I'm only there 1 minute. And then my next one is I feel the tug to go there and I say, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah. And I'm pulling out. So we're constantly just trying to raise our baseline, which is enlarging our mailboxes. Yeah. Because we're not spending the time in that place anymore. So our mailbox is not getting filled with junk. So junk mail. Let's call it junk mail.
Yes. And I was telling you before we started recording, I was telling you how yesterday I woke up and I had a situation happen and I felt my vibration just go tank, you know? And so I'll just briefly share that. So my husband and I kind of had a disagreement. And then before he left for work, we kind of hugged it out and we're good, you know? Yeah. And he left and things are good. But I hadn't really let it go inside. Yeah. And so he's gone and I'm in the bathroom, I'm getting ready, I'm doing things, and I knock over like the thing of bobby pins. It goes all over the floor. Yeah. And I was like, oh wow, this is because my vibration is off. Like I'm just harboring. I'm kind of holding on to that.
So I'm creating chaos around me. I'm literally
I was like,
chaos inside, chaos outside.
That's scary.
Yeah.
So I clean them up and I set them down and I get going again. I knock something else over and I'm like, okay, time out.
Like,
whoa,
I have to go let go of this
because
chaos.
I am so aware of how real this is now, and I want to grow my mailbox so bad that I am just like, stop.
Yes.
I stop. I say a prayer. I focus on the good.
Uh-huh.
I start,
The
and I love the
gratitude.
things. The saying, I will say this a million times. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Harvest the good and forgive the rest.
Yeah.
And apply that to people.
Yeah.
Like,
huge.
apply that to people in your lives, and especially to myself. I was like, God, I am so messing up right now, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, this is not for me.
Right.
So immediately I recognized, wow, this vibration. But in some ways, I tell my kids, I'm like, this kind of scares me. This is
because I
so
see it
real.
so clearly at this point.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm like, we can't mess around with this. Like, we've got to grow these mailboxes.
Yeah.
Because there are these big, beautiful lives. And I was watching American Idol last night. Just reminded me. And Fantasia was singing. I don't know if you remember her. Like, years ago.
I am so
She
out
has
of it.
Yeah, no, well, this is like, I don't know how long American Idol's been on, but it's a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yes, and she was like one of the early winners.
Okay.
She has this voice that is just incredible, and she talked about how she sang a new song, and it was more gospel centered. And anyway, she was like, whatever I sing, whether it's the ABCs, whether it's a gospel song, whether it's a pop song, whatever, she's like, it is my gift to God. Like, I am praising God because he gave me this talent, and I will use it for good. I will express him through this talent he gave me.
Oh, I love that.
No matter what I'm doing. And I was like, that's what I'm trying to get to. I want to use whatever God gave me to
magnify him,
and to create abundance and prosperity for everybody that I come in contact with.
Yeah.
I want somebody to see me and talk to me and feel good about themselves when they leave.
Yep.
That's who I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
So when I do stupid things and get on bad vibrations, I'm like, ugh. But I don't stay there so long.
Right.
I'm working on it.
Right. That's part of letting
I
it
hope
go,
my
though.
mailbox has grown like I don't know how big it is. I don't know.
I know, right? Like, I would love to see my mailbox. Well, and that's one of the things, too, is letting go of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you mess up. Okay, fine. I've done it. I've worked it out with God, and now I'm ready to move forward. Yeah. Like, if you stay in that mess up spot, again, your mailbox.
Yeah.
Like, you got to move on from those things. And so, so guilt was one of them. The sense that I'm not good enough is another one that keeps people stuck. Bob Proctor says, you are God's highest form of creation. Oh my gosh.
I know, we're both like,
I love that phrase. You are God's highest form of creation. And I do this thing that I have these little snippets from socials that build you up. And that one was one of, Bob Proctor has one that was the snippet. And what I do is I pay my children to listen to them and answer one question. And so Bob's thing started, and he said, you are God's highest form of creation. So you do use bribery? I totally use bribery.
Okay, totally approve.
100%. Anyway, but I sent this out. I mean, I have adult children, so it's like, I'll pay you $1. They're like, sweet, free buck. Like, I can go get a soda, whatever.
Yeah.
So I send it out to them, and I said, here's your thing for the day, or week or whatever, and you get $1 if you can answer my question after you watch it. Message me privately so that they're not sharing on the group what the answer is, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so they all came back, and the question that I asked after that one was, what is God's highest form of creation? And most of them said, man, like humans. And I was like, no, try again. And I'd give them several traits, and finally they'd catch on. Oh, I am.
Yeah.
I'm God's highest form of creation. And it was this ownership that it took a few minutes for them to own that title.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was doing it with another group, and one person could never do it.
Really?
Yeah. They really, literally could never say.
I guess that's
that
really
wonderful thing about themselves.
That is such a distinction, though, between saying man, because then you tend to think of other people.
It's like,
but
this
when
is
you
a
say,
law for everyone but me. Yeah.
God's highest creation, then it changes.
It does change.
It becomes personal.
So I want you to look yourself in the mirror today and say, I am God's highest form of creation. Like, just look yourself in the mirror and say it. And if you have to say it every single morning, and every single night for 30 days before you believe it.
Constant repetition. That's how you change it.
That constant repetition. Yeah, that you can change your mindset about yourself. We are living proof that you can because we've both done it. So
okay, where are we at
And then
now?
scarcity is a mindset. Become a giver.
Yeah. Oh, become a giver. Giver's gain. I've also heard that from Bob. I don't know who said it, but yeah, I love that. And I had if I can find it, because I was like marking a million
She's all,
things.
I've got to share these.
Let's see. Oh, my stomach's gonna grow.
And then Mike shouldn't pick that up. No, I don't think Mike will pick that up.
Okay. Well, I don't know I don't know where the one about giving is. But I do love this one. This one also really rang with me, because for me, receiving has been something that's taking time to really become more aware. I think I'm growing my vibrations, I'm growing my mailbox, but it's line upon line.
Yeah.
This says, and this is in the book, so this is Mike Murphy. When you love the desire, it loves you. When you keep your attention on the experience of the vision and feel into it with your senses, it suddenly shows up in your field. No willpower required. So basically, love your desire and it loves you back.
Yeah.
So
love your goal.
That seagull that you created, that want that you have, if you can just get okay with it, if you can just, and so be like, maybe that really could happen.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that would be awesome. And then you can feel the vibration in your body start to change as you start to love it. And then it loves you back. That's how your mailbox grows.
Yes. And you know what? You don't have to tell people.
No.
You do not have to tell them what your seagull is. If you know somebody close to you is going to stomp all over your seagull, and unfortunately we have people in our lives like that.
Well, and they're just not aware.
They are. Exactly. And it's fine. Like, they're on their own journey, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's on their own journey. So, but if you have somebody like that, you don't have to share your seagull with them. This can all happen in your mind. And you can create this life for yourself in your mind. And it's a beautiful, beautiful life.
And also your notebook, your journal, because I think there's something very powerful about writing it out. And then the physical act of writing it out and then connecting it with your mind, connecting it with those feelings. Anyway, so many ways to grow our mailbox. Okay, let's tie this into Gritstone Ranch.
Oh,
our seagull.
We grew this week.
We did
Gritstone Ranch has grown.
This week.
It was a big growing.
Yeah.
We had a lot. So we now have gritstoneranch.com. It is up. It's available. Like, you can check it out. I'm so excited about this website. We have our cowboys on there, our big open ranch life. Everything looks so beautiful. And I'm so excited about it. Yeah. I am so excited that we've grown this week. We've done
and I feel like it's baby step, because all of the things that are coming. So I think the idea of this website is so fun in that it's an experience. You're submersing yourself into this cowboy world.
Yes.
And so that's part of our seagull. We want to be big and epic Western, and so it's been so fun. And just talking,
and we want you guys to come to the ranch.
Yeah.
That's what our ultimate goal is like that you are at Gritstone Ranch. That is where you want to be. It's your happy place. Like,
okay. And so tying this back into horses.
We got to tell them about the cookbook.
Oh, yes. Tell them about the
cookbook. We have a cookbook that we put together with five dinners that we serve our ranch families. And anyway, it's organized by dinner. And it's on there, and you can go get it. It's yours for free. We just want you to have a taste of the ranch. Yeah. So go grab your cookbook, gritstoneranch.com. And I'm so excited because
I did make one recipe out of it. So
at the other night.
Yeah.
Oh, the roast.
Mississippi mud roast. Yeah. And it was so good. So
Oh, good. So yeah. I'm so excited for that. And I did the bowls again because I was like, those bowls are so good.
Oh, good.
And so that was just delicious. We had that last night, and my kids were like, why don't you cook like this all the time? I'm like, I do cook like this all the time. But it was just they're funny. They're like,
so that's what's fun about this website is just different parts. We're going to have the stories. We're going to have like the generational, the
information
family,
and the family tree and all the stuff. Yeah.
And the cookbook, and there's other things coming. But all of this, as we talk about going cowboy and ranch, and it just reminds me of horses.
Oh, I
like
love it.
why we feel so like, or I do. I guess I shouldn't speak for you too, but
okay.
Why I feel so drawn to write about this way of life, and like spending so much time with horses, vibrations with horses.
Oh yeah.
They pick up. If
100%.
you are down, they know it.
They know.
If you are happy, they know it. If you are scared, they know it. And so I find it fascinating, and I love spending time around them. So I am so excited to share that world with our readers. So it's just going to be an experience. It's going to be so big. It's going to be a seagull.
It's a seagull. We were going to do, or we did graduation photos with Caleb last night, and we took his horse. And so we're over there in the field, and we're kind of joking. Like, it's a couple of his friends, me and him, and the horse picked up on that joking thing, and so he squats down in front of the horse, and he's holding the reins, and we're trying, and the horse leans over and knocks his hat off, and we were like, what the heck? And so we get the good shot, he puts it back on, and I'm taking the picture, and the horse leans over with his lips and comes around the front of him, like right here, and is like right at his cheek, like he's trying to kiss it. We were dying laughing because the horse caught onto the whole, this is funny. The horse has this really fun sense of humor, personality, and he was like all over it. So I have this great picture of the two of them with their lips. That's just so cute, and I love it. And so I'm like, that one's going on my wall.
I love it.
But yeah, like they pick up on those vibrations, and it was such a fun one for that horse to pick up on. Yeah. I had such a great time.
Yeah, I have a photo that's one of my very favorites of when my youngest daughter graduated. The photographer took the horse's head and has Scarlett lean her head right up against it, and the image is like their two eyes next to each other. Yeah, their profile's like so you just see the horse's eye and hers. It's so cool.
Oh, I love that.
But yeah, so I'm so excited to like share this part of my life in the writing and the website and just everything that I'm doing. It's like, it's what I do outside of writing books. I mean, my family, this is what we do. And so it just feels so good.
Yeah. I feel like
like it could grow my mailbox. I don't know.
It's time.
It's time to grow our mailbox. So, okay.
So we're so excited that you've joined us today and that you've been here. And we're hoping that something we've said today will help you grow your own mailbox and be more open to receiving those good things and wonderful things that are awaiting you. Just waiting
and go get a good thing on Gritstone Ranch. You can have a free cookbook.
Go get it right now. Make a beautiful, wonderful dinner for your family. Stuff. Very easy to do. All right. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next week.
See you.